I'm Barbara Reed, and I'm a 2016-17 Senior Scholar. And this year I'm teaching and doing research at Dharma Institute of Liberal Arts. My home institution is St. Olaf College, which is a small liberal arts college in Minnesota. My research project is to look at the development of Buddhist education in Taiwan since the 1990s. And I'm looking at the newly accredited Buddhist colleges and universities and how they've adapted to the situation in Taiwan. And I've been doing it as a participant observer, so I'm both teaching at Dharma Institute of Liberal Arts and studying Dharma Institute of Liberal Arts as an example of one of the new Buddhist colleges. I believe that my project on both teaching and research dealing with Buddhist colleges and universities in Taiwan is important because they're such a new phenomenon, and in the world of religious institutions, they're still very much in transition. So it's an interesting time to study them as they're still making their way in terms of determining what their vision is and what their curriculum is going to be. They have a lot more freedom to define themselves as new institutions than 100-year-old institutions that have to change slowly. So I think it's an important topic because it shows us what a group of educators can do when they're starting from scratch, when they have a vision of what education should be in the modern world, and they can really think freely and incorporate a system of values, of Buddhist values, into that vision. At this point, I've looked at the 6 accredited Buddhist colleges and institutions in Taiwan, and it seems to me that they have a really strong chance of succeeding, even though they're very young. This is a difficult time for new private colleges and universities in Taiwan because with the birth rate declining, the number of college-age students is declining. So just as these new Buddhist universities are coming onto the scene, they're faced with a declining student population. But I think that because they each have distinctive missions, and most of them have connections to large global Buddhist networks, I believe that they're going to be able to succeed. I think that their strengths in terms of a distinctive vision of what constitutes an education, both in terms of character development and service, is something that I think will be of great benefit to the educational scene in Taiwan. I feel like my project here in Taiwan has fulfilled several aspects of the Fulbright mission. One of them is to build knowledge, because I'm teaching a course on Comparative Scriptures where we're reading Buddhist scriptures side by side with Christian and Muslim and Hindu scriptures, which is something that you don't see in these Buddhist colleges and universities. And so I'm sharing my approach to the study of religion with these students, but they're sharing with me so much, particularly questions that my students back in the United States have never asked me before, because I have a class of graduate students who are so intensely interested in thinking about what it means to be a Buddhist in the 21st century. And they ask difficult questions, and they look at, say, Christian scriptures in a way that I'm just not familiar with. And so my teaching has been an excellent place for the exchange of knowledge. And I think that both in the United States and in Taiwan, colleges and universities are struggling to think about what their role in society is. Actually, right now in the United States, liberal arts education is being criticized much more heavily than in the past. There's a lot of people that think that investing in a liberal arts education is not a good return on investment, that really all students need is to get the work skills so that they can just take a job, which is kind of ironic because in East Asia, there's a sudden interest in liberal arts education. In Hong Kong, in Taiwan, in Japan, in Singapore, they've all started new initiatives to incorporate general education and liberal arts education into the universities. So I think that one thing that all of us would benefit from, and I think the taxpayers should feel good about, is having a more global conversation about what kind of education we need to train the next generation of leaders.